Alright, so midway through last year, Ubisoft cancelled an unannounced Assassin's Creed game. Pretty much nothing was known about this game up until a few days ago, but then a bunch of anonymous Ubisoft employees came forward to spill the beans. According to them, the game would have been set in the Reconstruction period after the American Civil War. The player would take the role of a former slave who would then join the Assassin Brotherhood and kill, among other things, early members of the KKK. According to these employees, the game was cancelled for two reasons. One, because of the online backlash toward the previous game having a black samurai, and two, because of concern that the political climate in the United States was becoming too tense. I say this as kindly as I can, but when the fuck did Ubisoft lose its balls? And when the fuck did we have to start treating America like a special needs kid? But let's go back a bit. So earlier this year, Ubisoft drops Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Yasuke, one of the two main characters, is a former slave turned samurai. Some people thought that concept was cool, but a lot of others lost their fucking minds. Some didn't like Yasuke because he looked out of place, some just wanted something authentically Japanese, and others wanted someone more historically accurate. Me personally, I didn't understand what all the fuss was about. Like, yeah, he's out of place, but it's not like they made the protagonist black and called it a day. Like, I played that shit, and literally in the first cutscene, a guy is like, "Why are you black?" Like, it would have been weird if no one ever acknowledged it, but that's never the case. Yasuke is like a foot and a half taller than anyone else in the game. He is fucking enormous. Every villager you roll up to is like, "Damn, you're not from around here, are you? Want to kill some bandits?" Historical accuracy is also such a dumb complaint. In the last game, you basically played an immortal demigod. And in Assassin's Creed 2, the legitimate ending is a fist fight with the Pope before you use a magic artifact to talk to aliens. Compared to that, a black man in Japan is pretty tame. Look, representation I get, but I'm Australian. Our only representation in video games are unhinged crackheads. I didn't dislike Yasuke because he was black, I disliked him because it was kinda boring. I have a hard time giving a shit about samurai stories. Weird 500-year-old cultural norms about honor in a rigid feudal system isn't something I can relate to. Like Ezio, I understood. My man liked hot women and he liked it when pricks died. That's great. He just like me. But getting to the second point, cancelling a game because the US has an intense political climate is fucking crazy. I honestly thought this was made up, but the journalist has a pretty nuts resume. And let's be honest, Ubisoft wouldn't admit this shit either way. I certainly wouldn't. And I mean, we all know America is fucking crazy right now. That's not even a controversial thing to say. Our news episodes are getting 50 minutes long, and fucking Tuvalu isn't taking up that runtime. And keep in mind, you gotta separate all of this from current events, because this shit was cancelled in the middle of last year. I mean, it was cancelled in July, which is when Trump got shot, so maybe that freaked Ubisoft out. And I know that Ubisoft is kinda worried about fucking nutjobs. Like when I went to their office in Sydney, that shit was hard to find, and they told me that was by design. But it still doesn't add up to me. Far Cry 5 came out in the middle of Trump's first presidency, and that game had you kill waves of Christian nationalists. And American Christians didn't give a shit. They heard that soundtrack and went, "Damn, this shit fire."
They'll come loud and they'll come fast, but we shoot first and we can last. Keep your rifle by your side.
But it's a sad fucking state when a company thinks that killing members of the KKK might be too politically divisive. My personal solution would be the two protagonists thing from the last game. On one side you can have the freed black slave fighting for justice, and on the other side, you can play the guy who kills Abraham Lincoln. But let's be honest, this is just about Ubisoft doing what it's gotta do. Their stock price is down nearly 90% since 2020, and they've needed a win for a while. XDefiant got closed, AC Shadow sales were fine, and they haven't got anything else big coming out for a good while. Me personally, I'm gonna buy a bunch of stock. That shit can't get any lower without them getting bought out. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. Subscribe for more.